is sexy. I ain't gonna lie. Owning a hotel is sexy, right? We got some friends here together that are looking to get into business. Some are in the business a little bit. And it's just, we're going to sit and answer questions. We're going to debunk the why people can't do hotels. What are some of the big mistakes? And we're going to share with you how you can own your first hotel. Kimberly, you ready to go? You got your first question? Go ahead. What's your first question?
Okay, so what is the top, when you're looking for a hotel, what's the top 3 things to look for when you're buying a hotel?
My top 3, location, number 1. I don't know if I would say brand. I mean, brand is a very important thing about it, but I'm going to go with occupancy ADR, like economic drivers, which falls into location, right? Yeah. But I want to know what the rest of the market's doing. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at occupancy in the index, in the ADR. And
average day stands for average daily rate.
Average daily rate. So in apartments, people are like, well, what's this monthly rent? But in hotel, it's ADR, average daily rate. And I'm looking to find out what the rest of the market's doing. And then from there, I can determine what brand I can increase with value, right? Because there's the thing in the index that states, what market share they have, right? Are they getting their fair share? That's basically what the index says. Are they getting a fair share? And so if I see a lower index in occupancy and ADR, then that means, depending on the brand, I can push that up. And then I say, okay, now what team, what operator I'm going to go put in that place? Without a doubt, an operator will make it break it. Ask me how I know.
Don't get him started. That's a whole nother
ask me how I know.
Woo, and we'll need some drinks. He's going to have to refill his drink and talk about that.
Go ahead.
So I'll go back to that first, what's your first 3 things that you look for when you're buying a hotel? One of yours, economic driver. I know a lot of people who get into it for resale value. So what does that play when brands come into it?
Absolutely. Now, see, and it's a little different than hotels. And nobody's going to tell you this until you buy it, and you'll be like, what the flock just happened? I do look for creating value, right? So I was getting to that, but understand when you do the value of a hotel, when a new owner comes in, you sell the transition, there's a new PIP. A PIP is nothing but a renovation. All right. So when you do a new renovation, they actually discount that from the value. So many people go in like, oh, I bought this hotel for $8 million. I ain't got to do no renovations. It's worth $12 million. I'm a net $4 million. Then they come in. It's a change of owner PIP, a renovation. They're like, well, you got to do a $2.5, $3 million renovation. And so regardless if you do the renovation or not, they're going to deduct that from the sales price. So if you thought it was worth 12, you minus 3, now it's only worth 9, and you paid 8, you only made $1 million. You'd be like, what the heezy just happened? Where's my money? So those are some of the things that you got to work for. I probably didn't really name the 3. But
you lost me a little bit. So the brand will make you have a new PIP?
Okay. So tomorrow, because we're touring a design center tomorrow. So tomorrow it'll make more sense. So typically, every 5 to 7 years, a brand will come up with a new prototype, right? So for Holiday Inn Express, Kempton, really Staybridge, every 5 to 7 years they'll come in and they'll basically be like, to change them, so that they want wherever you go to throughout the country and the world, it'll look similar. Okay. So they don't want you walking into a Holiday Inn Express that looked like it was from 20 years ago. Right. So they want it to look like a little more modern. Okay. So it's called a PIP, or property improvement plan, and it's basically based off of brand standards. So it could be from the furniture, it can be from complete renovation where you have to change like the bathrooms, which is extremely expensive, because they want the hotel to look, to look fresh. And so what Mike was talking about, sometimes folks, they don't count that into their valuation. They don't count that into their valuation because they don't understand it, right? So then they don't have that education. So they may come in and buy a hotel that's like, $1 million, and they thinking with the value They can just like spruce it up a little bit. They may bring in a contractor that do houses and don't really know hotels, and they don't do the PIP. And then by the time they get all the numbers in from the brand, because the brand is going to tell you. Like, you'll be penalized. Like, they're going to tell you, because they want you to, you're paying into you're a part of a brand. They have to protect their brand. Right. Because when you walk into a hotel, well, now you're going to be thinking about who the owners. But the average person, they're not going to be thinking about who's the owner. They're not going to think about the operator. They're just going to know that it's Marriott. Right. That's all they're going to know. Right. This is Hilton. This is IHG. This is Winter. That's all they're going to know. So the brands have to keep a certain standards. Right. And so as an owner or a franchisee, you have to keep it up to their par on what they say.
The biggest difference between the mistakes that people make between multifamily and hotel. Well, one, because I just actually went through this, the PIP, the renovation process. When you got a property, and let's just say a lower income Section 8, man, you can go in, do some basic renovations, and as long as it meets the Section 8 standards, you pass, right? The windows got to open, you put your outlet in, the plug, it's on, right? Yeah, no. Look, that stuff has to be perfect. A lot of times people think that they can go in or not do all the things that are required and get away from. The brand's not going for that. They have standards that they want, and they want it done. They want the wallpaper going in. If it has blemishes, they're going to say something. Now, you may be able to get away with some variances, but they want things done, even things that don't even you feel necessary. Like, we got something in Scottsburg where they wanted to smooth out the pool. And I was like, dude, that's $20,000. Like, the pool is fine. Nobody's falling. It's not shipping. But it's a brand standard. When you got what is the pepper ceilings, the ceilings with the little popcorn ceilings. I know that's dated, but the ceiling could be fine. Nothing. They want them knocked down. Another expense. And the key locks, right?
Upgrade it to electronic key locks.
And now they want to be able to, so people can log in digitally, all from their phone. I paid $65,000 for some locks for 86 keys.
So imagine a larger hotel, and that, how y'all go into larger hotels, and you're like, ooh, it's dated. Yeah, because it's expensive.
The question is, I hear all these things. Why would I want to move from residential to hotels? Well, yes, you got to put your big boy pants on, all right? Your big girl pants on, right? But there's different levels. One of the big things about doing a hotel is much more cash flow. Number one, the tax benefits, all right? And then I get free drinks whenever I go to my hotel. But to dig into the benefits, one of the big things are tax benefits. Yeah. So there's different levels of wealth, right? And so some started off in hotels, so that's a different game. Right. Other people come in for different reasons. Like, some don't even worry about the cash flow. You got to realize some people are making $50,000, $100,000, $300,000, $1 million a month. Net. And so they're looking for tax write-offs. Yeah. This is one of the greatest ways to depreciate the asset, accelerated depreciation. And when they depreciate this asset, if they put $100,000 in, $500,000 in, they're not worried about that cash flow. They just received almost a 30-40% tax write-off in their first year. That offset all the gains that they had. That took away 2 months or 3 months worth of taxes that they would have had to deal with. So these are some of the great benefits of why they want. And then, it is sexy. I ain't gonna lie. Owning a hotel is sexy, right?